Institute of Strategic Dialogue is a think tank that claims it is nonpartisan and independent. But our next guest says the organization is trying to silence him and others. Listen.
Over the last several months, my colleagues and I have discovered the existence of a censorship industrial complex, which consists of U.S. and other government agencies, private sector think tanks, and academic institutions that are working together to spy on and censor ordinary citizens for constitutionally protected speech online.
Here now to investigate is investigative reporter and best-selling author Michael Shellenberger. Michael, good to see you. I got to tell you what, we suspect these things are happening. We saw this with the Twitter files that you were involved in, but I'm shocked that there's another organization that seems like they never stop. They're out again trying to censor conservatives, and the government is still involved?
Yeah, absolutely. And today we put out a message urging whistleblowers to come forward and leak information if they're involved in any one of these government agencies or private sector think tanks involved in conducting research or censorship of so-called mis and disinformation. This Institute for Strategic Dialogue became well known because it was what the BBC reporter cited as evidence that there was an increase of hate on Twitter in his interview and debate with Elon Musk last week. Well, we looked into that report, and what we discovered is that they were falsely labeling tweets that criticized George Soros and the World Economic Forum as anti-Semitic. That itself is disinformation. People have the right to criticize George Soros without being accused of anti-Semitism. And so what we've seen is basically a garbage in, garbage out kind of reporting by this organization. It then uses those reports that it creates to censor people, including myself, but also Jordan Peterson, the Canadian psychologist, and others, urging BBC and other media outlets not to give us any airtime, to exclude us from the media, and then to demand that social media platforms censor these disfavored voices.
Michael, in your work, how far does this go, though? Because in what you uncovered with Elon Musk buying Twitter and with Matt Taibbi was the connection directly from the government into Twitter. And we have known that media organizations like the New York Times have been, starting with Paul Krugman's July 2016 Siberian candidate column, have been lying about Russia and the Trump administration, lying about the New York Post Hunter Biden laptop scoop. I could go on and on. But how far does this go in terms of the increased effort to censor and silence individuals, not just individuals, but organizations?
It's a massive effort, and it's an effort that comes right out of after the war on terror was won. Many of these people involved in the intelligence community in the United States and Britain and the other Five Eyes nations then turned around and demanded censorship on social media platforms of disfavored voices who were expressing their constitutionally protected speech rights. It's a massive operation. They both demand censorship, and they also spread disinformation and conspiracy theories, including the idea that the Hunter Biden laptop was a result of a Russian hack. That was absolutely false. FBI sat on that laptop from December 2019 until its release in the fall of 2020. So you're involved in a huge coordinated effort that involves people that have very tight and undisclosed relationships with spying organizations, with the intelligence community that have not yet been disclosed. That's why we need to get more whistleblowers to blow the whistle on these crimes.
So, Michael, it's fair to say this is not about truth. This organization is not trying to censor false voices. They're trying to censor voices that disagree with those in power or those who are conservatives.
That's right. I think you have to remember what these groups are doing is they're trying to create a constant sense of crisis. If it's not COVID, it's climate change.
Yeah.
If it's not climate change, it's racism. And then every time they construct a crisis, and then they attack the people who debunk the fear-mongering because they want to use the fear as justification for expanding the propaganda and censorship. So it's a power grab, first and foremost. It's a panic against the rise of populist movements around the world, of left or right, I should point out. It's actually not just focused on the right, it's also focused on the populist left. It's insidious, dangerous, and it needs to be exposed.
Michael, thank you so much for being here. Please come back anytime.
Great reporting.
Michael Shellenberger.